Hello and welcome to the We Should Move Here Travels podcast. My name is Brittany
I'm Josh.
and we are your hosts. Today, we are going to be talking about our solo travel adventures. So, we have now both done a little solo traveling and we're just going to talk about it today.
Yeah, both of us at very different times in our lives. Yours very recent, mine quite a long time ago now, or at least in our lives, a long time ago now.
Yeah, when was yours?
2020.
2020. Oof.
Oof.
Oof. What a year to solo travel.
I know. What a week to solo travel. Early March 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Talk about giving me a crash course and being able to navigate airports when stuff is going wrong. Because when I was coming back from my trip, everyone was well aware that the airports were going to be shutting down within the next 72 hours about. And planes were canceling or transferring to weird places like mine did, and then just having to find a way back.
So, when did you come home?
I believe I came back March 12th of 2020.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
No, that's insane. I would have so much anxiety at that point. I did have so much anxiety at that point. And to be in an airport coming home from Thailand,
Mhm.
that must have been so crazy. Were you anxious or like how did it feel?
So I was supposed to go from this flight from Thailand to Japan and then Japan to Chicago. And that was my end destination. I was going to be picked up in Chicago. I wasn't coming all the way back to Appleton, if I remember correctly. But when I got to Japan, they put me on a flight to Colorado. And then I was supposed to go Colorado to like another airport, like Minneapolis, and then Minneapolis to Chicago. Like this
Okay.
weird bunch of transfers. And like I was saying, everyone was well aware that airports were going to be closing down very
Yeah.
soon. And I didn't want to be in a completely different state and that airport or that state decide, like, no, we're cutting it down before everyone
What
else.
would you have done if that did end up happening? What would you have done?
I would have, well, no, I was going to say bus, but buses probably would have been the first things to close ahead of airplanes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I
Would have had to call
guess
your parents.
call my parents or rent a car. I guess I could have rented a car
Oh, yeah.
and then driven it across the country and then maybe just returned it at the local rental, like Hertz or something. Who knows? But yeah, I wasn't really nervous while I was in the Japan airport because for the 24 hours prior to actually getting to Thailand's airport, I was like, okay, we're just going to go and see what happens. And then when
My
I got to Japan and they let me know, I was like, well, I'd prefer to stay on this flight. And they're like, oh, why? I'm like, airports are shutting down. This is right next to my home. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, if you're okay with sitting in the middle of the middle row surrounded by four other people, I'm like, that's fine. I just want to go to my airport. So
Oh my gosh, were you nervous about COVID? Like catching COVID? Did you have a mask?
no, but it was weird because in Thailand, they were well aware of it. They had installed like free mask boxes at all of their like train stops and
Oh,
had hand sanitizer pumps. So everyone getting on and off trains was like hand sanitizing and they had like security watching them.
yeah.
So and that was right away when I got there. And the United States was still kind of like we might close, we might not close. But Thailand was just already like something's going on.
Wow. I didn't catch the travel bug until after COVID.
Hmm.
And I can't imagine being in another country while COVID is exploding all over the world. That must have been such a terrifying time for you. So many thoughts going through your mind, but also like you made it home. You didn't get COVID at that point.
And as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a time.
The COVID aspect happened. I think might have kind of jolted me a little bit. Like, okay, you got to figure this shit out.
Oh, how do you mean? What do you think? that did for you. Like, what shit did you figure out after that?
Well, I guess I should just kind of explain my trip as a whole
Yeah.
and then go into that more. So my trip was to Thailand. Originally, I was looking into doing a solo trip because one of my friend's parents at the time said, "You just need to go on a trip by yourself and like figure yourself out." They told me that in like mid-November, and I was like, "All right, cool." And I just was like, "Oh, Singapore, that seems like a cool place." Looked up, saw ticket prices, but on Google Maps, you can see ticket prices to other countries. Saw Thailand right next to it, about half the price. I was like, cool, we're going to Thailand. And I saved planning, I think anything for Thailand up until like the 2 weeks before, maybe,
Like, you bought the flights,
and then just let it sit there. I didn't do
like,
anything
no
else.
hotels, no nothing? Oh my
No,
god.
nothing. No. I told my parents, and my dad's like, "Oh, I have a friend who's gone to Thailand before. Like he can probably give you a few tips." I was like, "Cool." Didn't even text him until like the 2 weeks before, and he gave me like recommendation for areas and hotels, stuff like that. The 2 weeks before, which is the only time I planned anything. So I booked the hotel then, and I think I also like Googled what to do. And someone like on Reddit, I think, said, "Well, you need to book a food tour because Thai food is a crazy experience, and having a guide to kind of give you a full experience is something that you should do." So I'd booked that, and that was, I think, pretty much the only things I had done. I didn't do any research on any other restaurants, what to do, where to go, nothing. The only thing I vaguely remember doing was downloading Google Translate. I was like, I don't know how to speak Thai
Mhm.
or any like Asian language I might run into. I'm going to need Google Translate. So I downloaded that. And Google Maps, I think I downloaded a map. So then I went to Thailand and I had a great experience. Also scary. I arrived at midnight, couldn't check until into my hotel at 3 p.m. I thought Uber was available there. It wasn't. So I had to talk someone else into figuring out how to get a taxi because also my phone didn't work. So I had to purchase a local chip
Oh my god.
right then at the airport at midnight. So I had all these crazy things, got to my hotel, wouldn't let me check in until 3. I didn't even think about going to another hotel, renting a room. I was like, I'll just hang out on the streets of Bangkok, Thailand
For 13 hours
for
after a
13
long-ass
hours
flight. Did you
after a long
sleep on the
flight.
flight?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I was out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Good. But you sat on the streets of Thailand for 13 hours. First of all, the whole chip thing in your phone, you just handed your phone over to a stranger in another country, your first time in another country
Mm-hmm.
alone, just handing your phone over
Yeah.
and then they give you a chip. Oh my gosh, this sounds like a recipe for disaster. I'm so glad nothing happened to you because what?
Yeah, thank goodness there are a lot of people who travel who are a lot smarter than me and do it when they're not in self-destructive moods. I assume that maybe some people who do this realize early on that it's not a good idea and they do a lot more planning than I did. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. In Bangkok, Thailand, where I was staying was a very heavy area for sex tourism, I guess. And so when I was walking the streets, there were a lot of sex workers out on the streets and they were aggressive because I was a white male all by myself and it just scared me. And so what I did was I went to 7-Eleven and I just got some like snacks and some drinks and just sat out on like the stoop of the 7-Eleven
For 13 hours?
for a good amount of time. I mean, I start out and I got, I guess I did do some research because I knew a cheese toasty was something really popular from 7-Eleven.
So
So,
you did that research, but
yeah,
but not to make sure that your phone would work.
you know,
I
yeah.
love you so much, but oh my god.
This was, I think I was 24 at the time. So this was 24-year-old Josh or 25-year-old Josh. But
Oh.
yeah. But yes, I just wanted a cheese toasty. I think I might have got a soda, some sort of local soda. I know I got Cremos, which are just Oreos, but they call them Cremos. Or at least
Oh.
that's what package says, yeah. So I got Oreos, and I just sat on the stoop, watched, like, the garbage truck come pick up garbage. I remember the smell was horrible because it was so hot and humid, even at night, like, it must have been in the 80s and extremely humid, so the smell of all the garbage just hung in the air, and I was like, "Oh, this is so gross."
What did you expect to happen? Like when you landed, what did you expect to see and feel and like what did you expect?
I had no idea. I was in such a state where I was doing so much crazy shit for the year prior because my long-term relationship had ended. And like I said, I was in a self-destructive mood, probably drinking too much, being around people that probably weren't the best influences. So I was like, there nothing worse can happen to me. Like, I'll just go there and I'll just drink for a week and like meet people.
Hmm.
And I mean, that's kind of what I did. And also did a bunch of exploring, just walking around, going into temples. I met a guy who's like, oh, just talk to a taxi, have him take you around on his little, I think it's tut-tut or something. They're little motorized
Oh.
scooters pulling like a small cart.
Yeah, we
And
saw them in Portugal as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very similar. But yeah, paid the guy to do that for an entire day. He
Mm.
took me to a cool restaurant, went to a floating market, where you get on one of the boats and then there are a bunch of boats like tied together. People are selling fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that.
Oh
And
my God, that's like a dream. I would love to do that.
yeah, yeah, it was very cool. And then I did do the one mistake I did was I did a food tour, but I did it at the end.
Mm.
But it was such an amazing experience. And I'm pretty sure it was my first ever food tour ever traveling.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing. They get different fruits, different like local sweet dishes, different meats that they cook differently, a whole bunch of stuff. And it opened my eyes and it was just crazy. But I loved it. And of course, I did a lot of just what I wanted, which was my hotel had a rooftop pool with drinks. So I would just sit by the pool and go in the pool and have drinks. And there was a bar that was open pretty much all the time, just around the corner from the hotel, and beers were like a quarter in US money. Baht is crazy cheap for the US dollar, so I would drink beers at a quarter, and there was a nice little like outdoor patio eatery right across from the hotel too that I ate from there a bunch, and a bunch of food carts always around because it's a big tourism area.
Mm.
So I did whatever I wanted. It was a crazy experience. Then had the flight home from Thailand during COVID, that craziness. And I think the whole experience was like, I should be a little more conscious of what I'm doing with my life.
Mm. So it made you like recognize that you need to reflect on your decisions, is
Mhm.
what I'm hearing.
So many things happened. If I keep talking about it, more things will come up that I remember that were just crazy. I remember the day before I left, it was in the middle of winter. The garage door fell off the garage
Oh my God.
and we couldn't fix it before I left. So we took a big tarp and just stapled it.
Oh my God.
Me and my dad did. I was like, it'll be okay. If someone wants to steal something, they can. It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It seems like there were a lot of things that were maybe signs from the universe at that time for you.
definitely. It's interesting though. I feel like the universe puts you in a stream or a river,
Mm.
and you can either swim with it, paddle with it, whatever metaphor you want to use, or you can fight it or try to get off the stream, create your own stream. And I was definitely fighting it. I was trying to get off, create my own stream. I'm like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah.
Universe was trying to push me to safety. I was like, nah, I'm going over here.
No way.
Hmm.
Not doing that.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like this trip helped you get back onto the stream where the universe wanted you to be.
Correct. Yeah. I'm trying to think of good metaphors, but I can't at the
No,
moment.
that's okay.
But it definitely did. It at the end, especially with the COVID bit, I was like, oh man, I should have been much more aware of my surroundings when booking the trip.
Mm,
I should have been much more aware of where I was going. I should have planned more because there were definitely times where I felt unsafe.
like when?
Well, when I first got there at midnight and had to spend probably, I don't know, 6 hours until the sun came up, basically,
Mm,
not a lot happens that's good. I would assume in most places past midnight, and
mhm.
especially in a place you don't know, drinking a lot in another country alone, like accepting drinks from other people. I was very determined to see a lot of Bangkok, and I did. And I went to some really cool markets
Mm.
that also had some sketchy areas that I was just like, oh, what's over here? And I walked through those and didn't even care. Yeah, just a lack of research and self awareness, being aware of what's around me is what happened basically that I did wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, you were also what, 24, 25.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's normal for that age group. Now that you're, 8 years older,
Hmm.
which is a huge shift in development
Oh,
because your
for sure.
frontal lobe is now developed.
Yeah. No thanks
So,
to the alcohol, but yeah.
well, I mean, back then it would have been very difficult for you to think through all of your decisions, whereas now it's easier for you to do that.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, developmentally, it makes sense. It sounds like the trip was really good for you at the time in your life.
It was. I would not change my experience at all. I mean, as an adult looking on a younger person who just did that, I'm like, why would you do that? And I definitely would if a younger person was saying they would do that. Give them plenty of advice and tips like, don't do this.
Yeah.
You want to have a great first experience? Here's some tips on what not to do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it for me because even though as scary as it was, it got me addicted to traveling. It got me addicted to food tours and food in other countries and
Mhm.
cultures of other countries. I was always interested in like different religions or like a spiritualness.
Mhm.
So going and walking through temples, being around Buddhists and that sort of thing was just so cool to me, and it was as cool, even more cool than I expected.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you went through any temples.
Oh,
You did?
loads.
Yeah.
Tons, because in Bangkok, there's so many. I mean, and lots of them just there for tourism.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who, say, "You gotta go to Phuket, you gotta go outside of Bangkok," and of course, yeah, if I went back, I would travel lots outside of Bangkok, which I didn't basically at all.
Yeah.
Um,
But we will.
yeah,
We will get there because
when when
it is on my list.
when we go to Thailand, for sure,
Yeah.
spend a day or two in Bangkok and then go around because there's a lot of cool places in Thailand for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think based on your story and also being a woman, I don't know that I would feel fully comfortable solo traveling there.
Mm,
So that will be a couple trip for sure.
mhm.
I'm sure it would be fine. And like, we're adults now who can make good decisions and think through things. But even with like your stories, I'm just like, nope, no solo travel over there for me. I'm good. I'll go with you, and that'll be that.
I have looked at there are plenty of people, men and women, who do solo travel
Tons. Yeah.
and they're just fine. But it's also like what is your risk tolerance?
Yeah, for sure.
Your anxiety level.
And you just got to be smart about it. I'm
Mhm.
sure I would be fine,
Yeah.
but you just got to be smart about things and
Right.
really think things through, plan things, like everything you didn't do.
Well, I mean, that's a fantastic transition though into you with your trip.
Yeah.
So I think we should just talk about how your trip went and everything you went through.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't listen to the Aveiro episode, go and listen to that because I kind of talked through everything that I did and went day by day. But in general, I will say that I learned so much about myself. For a long time, I felt like I had lost myself in my schooling, my education, my career. And those things were so important to me that I had lost who I actually am. I feel like solo traveling helped me learn about who I am again.
Like what you liked, like your personality or
Well, yeah, that and also what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy, because there's so many times that even just you and I together, that I have decision paralysis.
Mm.
And I am like, I can't make a decision. And I think that boils down to me wanting everyone to be happy around me, right? This is quickly turning into a therapy podcast, and I'm not meaning it to. But these are things that I learned on the solo travel. And I think being there by myself, I couldn't have decision paralysis because it was just me. And the only person I had to make happy was me. So it was much easier to do that. And then I think about like, well, I can't control other people's emotions, right? So there's a lot of work still, I think, there. But I think solo travel pointed those things out to me. And I may have knew them or felt them before, but they were very highlighted when I was alone. And I used to really be afraid of being alone. And I was for, I think, the first 24 hours, I was scared.
was that like on the plane traveling there or once you got to Aveiro or both? Were you like those travel and once you got to Aveiro you were really scared or nervous?
You know, it's interesting because I can really shut off my brain when I'm in a busy situation. So getting on the plane, traveling through the airport, that was not a big deal for me. I was able
Yeah.
to do that no problem.
Mm.
But it was the last flight from Newark to Lisbon where there was I think like a 2-hour delay.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go sit somewhere. I already ate something, already got a drink. I just sat at one of the like waiting areas. And I remember sitting there being like, whew, it is scary. It is really starting to hit me. And then I think from that point on, until I got to Aviro, and then maybe like 12 hours after, because I slept and everything, I was pretty terrified. I was really scared to be alone, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to feel safe. I didn't know if I was going to figure everything out. Really didn't have a whole lot planned. Like I had researched Aviro a little bit,
Mhm.
but it wasn't to the extent that I usually do.
Right.
So that was making me a little nervous. But then again, like I knew that Portugal is very, very safe. And so I kept reminding myself of that.
Yeah, I think when you and me had talked about you doing a solo trip, I definitely was thinking of myself going to Thailand and be like, we're not going to do a lot of these things. So I made sure it was a safe place.
Mhm.
You knew where you were going. You knew what was available to you.
Yeah. Not that Thailand is not safe because
Right.
it definitely is. There
Mhm.
are places that are safe and unsafe in every single country
Right.
all over the world. I think you having some of that prior knowledge did help me a little bit. But overall, like once I got there, I was like, I am alone. I really
Mhm.
can't do anything. And I had made myself a promise that I wasn't going to use my phone as a clutch.
Mhm.
I don't think I did all the time. I think there were points where I definitely did. And I'll own up to that. You know, like there were points where I was feeling like scared. So I reached out to you,
Mhm.
or like I called you, or I went back to the place that I was staying and I was like, I need to talk to you. But overall, I think once I got comfortable, I was like, oh, yeah, like I can do this. This is fun. And I went shopping one day, and not that I got much, but shopping is fun for me. And I loved it. And like there were different stores I'm not used to. And I was like, ooh, what is this? You know?
What was the biggest turning point? Because all of a sudden you were scared and then you were like, "And then I was out doing stuff." What was it, that shift, like, "I'm not gonna use it as a crutch," or did something just happen? Like, you just started walking? What was it?
So the first day I got there, I landed, I think at around like 9 a.m. Portugal time.
Mhm,
Checked into the place at maybe around 3 after getting the train and
mhm,
figuring everything out. So checked in as soon as I got to Aveiro. But walking from the train to the place that I was staying was scary, I will
mm.
say. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. This is a bigger city than I thought. This is a longer walk than I thought. It's hot outside. I don't know where my deodorant is. I probably smell right now.
Worst nightmare.
Yeah, literally.
Being
But
scared and smelly.
yeah, that is my worst nightmare. um, but then I got into my Airbnb. I fell asleep. The next day, I woke up terrified and I started making a social media post. And I made it very intentional that I was going to be talking about my solo travel adventures. And so I had some fun with it that first day. And then I was like, well, for social media, I got to go out for a walk and I got to get out of this
Mm,
place. I just started walking, walked around, found myself down by the water, down by the old fish market area. I just started to recognize that it's a beautiful town, a beautiful place. It's Portugal, so it's very safe. And people are not rude. People are very kind here. Like nothing bad is going to happen to me here. And once I had that realization, I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm going to go explore. And then the more I explored, the more I felt confident in, I don't know, just being alone,
mhm,
which I guess sounds really weird. But I think for me, it took me a long time to even want to do this solo travel
mhm,
because I hated the idea of being alone. So for me, this was huge. It was a huge step. And now, after the solo travel, it was only 5 days, right? It was not that long, but it was life changing for me because after the solo travel, I have now been going on walks alone. I feel like telling you when I don't get enough me time, right? And like I notice that I do need me time. And I never really noticed those things before. So I do think that this short solo travel adventure for me was life changing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is for most people, but for sure us, we both had life-altering experiences.
Yeah.
And one thing that both of us kind of mentioned, and you for sure just did, is being alone versus, like, being lonely.
Mm,
I think I went to Thailand and I was lonely again, had gotten out of a long-term relationship and kinda had spent a year doing whatever, and I went to this place and then was alone. I wasn't lonely, I was alone with myself and I had to deal with myself, and then got that confidence to do things, to go out and do things, try new things through the experience.
yeah. No, that's really interesting. I guess I always thought that they were one and the same, being alone and being lonely, but they're not.
Mm-mm.
And I did learn that in Portugal because I was not lonely. I knew I could always call you. I knew I could always talk to you. I was just there alone.
Mhm,
And
and
like there were tons of people around that I was like getting to know. And I also think an important thing to mention is safety. So I feel like I have learned a couple of safety tips from posting on social media. I recognized I am not going to post when we're in the city because I don't want people to actually know where I am, just in case there's any weirdos out there, you know? So
mhm,
that's a safety tip that I would recommend for anybody posting their stuff on social media. Just
mhm.
wait until you're in the next city or wait until you're home, whatever you got to do.
Did you do any of the, like, a strategic white lie? for anything? We had talked about it a little bit. Like if someone asks, like, "Oh, are you here by yourself?" And then we're like, "Well, yeah, my fiance is here with me. He's meeting me for dinner or something like that."
Yeah, I I did have something in mind, and if somebody did ask me, I was gonna be like, "Yeah, we're just doing some different things today."
Mm,
But my fiance is back at the Airbnb.
mm,
So I would have just said that. However, nobody asked me.
mm.
Not one person asked me, and I was like, "Okay."
Didn't need to worry about that at all.
I feel like because it was Portugal, nobody's gonna ask creepy questions like that. Like, it felt much safer.
Yeah.
However, if we were in the US and I was doing some solo travel, I for sure know that some creepy old man is gonna ask me that, okay? And I'm gonna have to lie.
Yeah.
Always lie.
But you were prepared.
I was prepared, yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That is a good safety tip, though.
So, like, talking with locals and other travelers, did you find it really easy when you went on your tour to talk with others or when you were walking alone? And then when you ran into someone, did you find it really easy to break the ice and talk to someone or were you having a hard time?
No, I did have a hard time.
Yeah.
I think that once it became time for me to do the tour, I did one tour. So the tour was a boat ride, a walk through the city, and like a cultural exploration through the city, and then a wine tour all together in one ticket price. So there was another couple with me on all three, but the first part, the boat part, was a whole group of people that didn't come to the rest of the tour. And that whole group of people, I don't think spoke English. So the tour guide was speaking both English and Portuguese, I believe, and mostly Portuguese because I was the only person not speaking Portuguese. But so I found it really hard at times with the language barrier. I think after the boat tour and the rest of the tour, I talked with the couple a little bit, and that was nice. But I really didn't talk to a whole lot of people.
So do you think this solo trip kinda proved that you're a bit of an introvert? Or was it just being your first experience? Because do you think this told you like, "Oh, next time I do it, I'm definitely gonna try to be more outgoing."
I am. I'm gonna try to be more outgoing next time. I don't know if it fully means I'm an introvert. I do think I am, but
Mhm.
I just find it hard to talk to strangers.
Yeah.
So the people that I talked to were like servers. Yeah.
How was that? Because that's such a unique and personal and one of our favorite experiences is going to restaurants and, like, splitting
Mhm.
food, trying new food, stuff like that. So how was that for basically 6 days, not having someone to get another entree and split with?
Well, that part sucked because I love trying new food and like we get to try so much extra food because we split everything.
Mhm.
There were times where I got something that maybe I didn't like the most, and I was like, "Ugh, if Boo was here, he would eat this." Um,
I
well
could pawn this off on him
well,
and
you like things a lot of things, you're not that picky.
Mhm.
Um,
That's so funny. Did that make you more so ask, like, the waiters or the staff, like, a recommendation, or were you just, "No, I'm gonna
I
order." You
did.
did?
I did ask recommendations a lot. I also got a lot of things that I was craving.
Okay.
I think that first day I got a Buddha bowl, which was absolutely delicious. I got chocolate covered strawberries.
Fantastic.
Oh, I got risotto, and it was so salty and delicious. It was exactly what I wanted. I got the fancy meal, the francesinha. I There's a lot of things that I was like, "Yes, I am trying that," and a part of me really loved when I loved the meal and I didn't have to share it, but then a part of me was like, "Oh, Boo would really like this too."
I don't get to try it, or I don't get to share this cool experience or this good food with yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was kind of a bummer about it, but I did appreciate a lot of the food in Aveiro.
Mhm.
I liked eating it by myself too.
Yeah.
Didn't have to share.
I think that's something looking back on my trip that I recognize happened because I did travel once out of the United States with my ex before,
Mhm.
and so got to share some experiences like that. And then when I went to Thailand by myself and like on the food tour tried some really good food,
Yeah.
I was like, "Man, who do I share this with? Like, who do I tell?" And I posted like on social media and texted people, called people, and that kind of satisfied that craving of needing to share it with someone.
Yeah.
But now, like traveling with you, I don't I don't have that lonely feeling anymore because I know we're going halvesies on everything. And so if I love something, you're gonna get a chance to try it and see if you love it too. So
Yeah. It's almost like you were putting it out into the universe that you wanted me in your
I
life.
need a foodie.
You needed a foodie. I
Yeah.
also needed a foodie, so
Do you think that for others, and maybe even yourself, do you think if someone else is going to do a solo travel for the first time, or thinking about yourself again, a domestic trip somewhere in the United States by yourself would be easier or would have made it harder? It's a unique question with today's climate in the United States. Some people might be like, "Oh, well, of course, United States, like, it could be safer," but, I mean, that's definitely not the case.
that's definitely not true. No,
Mhm.
I am really glad that it was
Where it
somewhere
was.
safer than the US.
Yeah.
Had it been in the US, I think I would be more afraid of gun violence
Mm,
than
sure.
anything.
Yeah.
So,
But you can always pick a place. Like, if you would have planned a trip and chosen Galena, would you have liked that? Would that have been really fun? You know, go and do another ghost tour, which we love doing, and hang out there for a couple days.
maybe I should do that. I really love Galena. Galena is a town in Illinois that is well known for having some spooky stuff. So it's our kind of town.
And we've been to it a few times. So do you think maybe something like that for yourself or someone else
I don't,
doing a solo trip would work or no?
I can only speak for me. I think for me, I needed the jolting, immersive cultural experience from somewhere out of the US,
Absolutely.
from somewhere where I don't speak the language. I don't know the food. I don't know anybody there
Mhm.
or anybody there within 6 hours by plane. So,
Minimum.
yeah, minimum. I think it was really important for me to go that far. And I don't know that I would have had the same outcome and the same experience had it been like Galena, because that's 3 hours by car.
A place that's really in a bubble for you.
Yeah, a place where I am so secluded by not being around people I know would protect me,
Mhm.
and the only person that could protect me is myself. I could only rely on myself.
Yeah.
And I think it was so important for me to go and do that in another country.
Yeah. I think somewhere in my mind that was for me too. It wasn't in the forefront of my mind, but
Yeah.
like, I just need to go do something crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I call it self-destructive, but I was just taking a leap.
You know, I think sometimes when you're in your younger 20s and you're doing things that may have felt self-destructive, you learn so much from those things.
Mhm.
So I think maybe there's some gratitude to be had for those poor decisions that you made. But also, like, Thailand, I'm sure was great.
Maybe our 30-year-olds can learn a little bit from our early 20-year-olds
Yeah,
in that instance
maybe.
if we had the opportunity to make those good life decisions. Do you want to do more solo travel?
I do. However, I do think that it would be really fun. I did say this before. I think it would be really fun for us to like go do, say we went to Portugal again. You're in Porto, I'm in Aveiro, and then we meet and we show each other what we learned. I think
Mhm.
that would be so fun in another country.
Yeah.
Um,
That is a really good idea. That is.
I really love that idea.
Mhm.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, that is so us.
Mhm.
Because we also, I feel like, have been like within our relationship, we have also been gaining so much independence. At least for me, I'm not trying to rely on you for so much as much as I was.
Mhm.
I think that a sense of independence within our travel is also important because independence should be a part of everything in your life. And we are so passionate about traveling. So it makes sense to me that we would include some sort of independent travel.
Yeah. That's like doing solo travel without like fully doing solo travel.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Do you think you would do a more full solo travel experience? Like going there, being there, coming back all on your own?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would enjoy it. I think it would be kind of a bummer to not have you there because like I've talked about, I when I was experiencing new things, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so much fun." And then I was like, "Boo would love this and I hate that he's not experiencing this
Mhm.
new adventure with
Right.
me."
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Mhm.
Yes, and I would do it, but I would much rather do a whole trip with you. What about you?
I for sure would do a solo trip. I am in the exact same boat though, where I love to share those new experiences with you.
Yeah.
It's something that if you go and do a solo trip when you're in a relationship, it's like any other time. Like if you're gone for a couple days and
Mhm.
I'm here and I'm doing life by myself. I'm like, oh, like yeah, having some alone time is nice, but I'm watching this TV show. Oh, you would like this, or get a pizza. Oh, you like pizza,
Who doesn't like pizza?
just all these things that you like to do as well, and I like to share those experiences, just like you were saying. But it's also nice to remind yourself, like, I can do this.
Mhm.
These are the things I like. I think that's what I was kind of looking for. It's a refresher of what do you like about yourself? What do you
Mhm.
like to do? Because sometimes, and for us for sure, we get so locked into lockstep.
Yeah.
We're like, "Oh, we'll go to this place together. Yeah, let's go to this place. We'll go do this thing. Yeah, let's go do this thing." And our minds just kind of mold together. And every once in a while, just to remind ourselves, like, we are individuals, we are separate people. Let's go do this thing on our own. Oh, yeah, I like this. I like doing this. Oh, this reminds me of my fiance.
Mhm.
I wish she was here to do this with.
Well, and I think that's so important to have that within your relationships. Like a sense of independence because if you're not able to have that,
Hmm.
then you do kind of like mold into one another and it's hard to differentiate like who you are
Hmm.
at that point.
It's like that. What's that new James Franco movie that came out
Oh, together.
together?
Oh, that's a creepy movie. That was weird. Such a weird movie, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the metaphor for the movie, so
It is, yeah,
Mhm,
and it totally makes sense, like, you need a sense of independence, and even when you're in a very healthy and loving relationship, you need to give each other some space, because we're always evolving, we're always exploring, we're always ever-growing, changing beings,
mhm,
and we're not going to be able to fully grow and explore the way we need to if we're always with one another. So, my advice to anybody in a relationship that's feeling codependent is go do a solo travel adventure, then go back,
mhm.
or have your partner meet you there
Yeah,
after a couple days.
yeah.
Or you two go to different places and then you meet up and then you show each other what you learned.
I love that. Maybe if we put this out there when we put this out there, someone will comment and say they did it, and they can let us know how it went. Because
Yeah,
I
that
would
sounds
like
great.
I would like to know if someone did, how it went. Because I mean, it just sounds cool.
It does. Yeah. It sounds like a really fun experience to kind of have the best of both worlds, and I love that
Mhm,
because then you're also experiencing new things at the same time that I'm experiencing new things. And I don't know that I would have that feeling of, oh, Boo would love this too, because you're doing something that I would love to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it would be because you're saying it wouldn't be a full travel, a full solo travel with us being so close together. So maybe it would be like a different country.
Mm.
So, like,
Wow. Logistics of that would be crazy.
well, I mean, if they're right next to each other, like Portugal and Spain.
Oh, true. Like connecting. Oh, I don't know why. My first thought went different country, plane.
I mean, well, you could, but you can also just take a train.
Take a train. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do Scotland and the UK. We could do. Mm-hmm.
I call Scotland.
You might have to have a car.
Oh, fuck that. No,
Maybe not the best place.
I'll take a bus.
Yeah. There you go. Oh man. Is there anything more about your solo travel adventure? Any suggestions for people? Anything at all that we've missed that you want to talk about or that you think we should say?
I think that we're leaving a lot out, but I can't think of everything right now. And obviously there's so much that I'm still processing
Mm-hmm.
from the solo travel that I've learned about myself. And some of it is only for me and my therapist's ears. So, I mean, for real though. So, I'll just leave that there. But I, I truly think it was such an empowering and life-changing decision for me to do this trip and go alone. I think it was so powerful. And I really recommend women who are in the boat that I was in of lacking a sense of independence, feeling fearful of doing things alone, because we do live in an environment where women are so easily taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really empowering for me to do this alone and say, basically my fear is valid, but I can't let it control my life. And that's what this kind of taught me. So I recommend women to do this. Not just women, I mean, anyone to go solo travel, but particularly women in the US who are afraid. I think you should go solo travel.
Yeah. You have the perspective for it. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was fun. So. You learn about yourself and you have fun and you get to drink wine. So
I think those are the 3 boxes to check.
yeah. What about you? Anything else?
I think our 2 stories take up the most bit of this podcast episode. You can see both ways from a perspective of a lack of planning and kind of a free fall sort of trip like mine. And yours was a little more curated, but still open to lots of new things that you can have great life-changing experiences either way.
Absolutely.
So don't feel like you have to do it any certain way. Just be safe and go do it.
Yes. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe. Look it up. Do some research
Mm-hmm.
and do a food tour.
Do a food tour. Do a food
If you
tour
can.
early on.
Yeah. Well, next episode, we will be talking about our financial travel tips. So, some tips that we might have to save you some money traveling. These tips have definitely saved us some money.
Absolutely. And like this episode, we're definitely going to miss some, but I'm sure we'll have more episodes about it in the future as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we always sprinkle some throughout our traveling experiences anyways, so.
Absolutely.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at WSMH Travels.
You can listen to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube is where we have our video record version, including pictures and videos from our trips. Please continue to leave your comments and send us messages on what you liked from our trips and suggestions for future trips. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.